I've been quiet for long enough, David. I came here because if I stayed on the phone with you another second, I might have said something I couldn't take back.
I get it. I messed up. I do not even have the words to explain how badly I...
Don't try to explain it to me. I'm not the one you need to convince. But you need to hear this from someone who actually cares enough to say it straight. You didn't just doubt her, you threw her away.
I thought I was doing what made sense at the time. I had proof in my hands. I did not know it was wrong.
You had her in front of you, her words, her loyalty, 3 years of consistency. But the second fear showed up, you let it rewrite the entire story.
You think I am not aware of that now? You think I am not sitting in the middle of the wreckage, wondering how I let it all happen?
Then do something about it. Don't just sit here in guilt like it's some punishment you deserve. You don't get to feel sorry and still stay quiet. You fix it.
She will not even pick up my calls. I do not blame her. I would not answer either if I were her.
So go in person, stand in front of her and say what you didn't say when it mattered. She deserves to look you in the face when you tell her the truth.
What if I have already lost her?
Then you own it and still try. You apologize, even if she doesn't forgive you. You show up for that boy, whether or not she ever lets you back in.
It is just hard to imagine walking up to her after everything I said, after everything I accused her of.
You don't get to imagine your way out of this. You get to go there, feel the weight of your mistake, and do what needs to be done. No conditions, no pride, just truth.
You are right. I know you are. I do not know how to start.
You start by remembering she never stopped telling you the truth. And now, finally, it's your turn to tell her yours. This isn't about what you lost, David. It's about what you still have the chance to fight for if you don't waste another second.
Come on, Ada. Please pick up. I know I do not deserve to be heard right now, but I'm still calling because I need to try. I know this message is not enough, not after what I said, not after what I did, but I need you to hear me say the words I should have said the moment you told me you were pregnant. You were telling the truth, and I did not believe you. The test was wrong. The sample got mixed up. The Babio son, he is mine. I know that now. I finally know the truth, and I am sorry, Ada. I am so sorry. I do not know if you will ever forgive me. I do not know if you should, but I am going to keep showing up however I can. For you, for him. Even if you never call me back, you will see me trying. Tom Martins called. He told me everything. I doubted you, I doubted us, and I let fear turn into accusation. You kept telling me the truth, and I chose to believe a mistake instead of the woman who stood by me through everything. I do not expect you to forgive me right now. I just want you to know that I see it all now. What I did, what I ruined, what I almost walked away from forever. I am sorry, Ada. I am sorry I failed him, but I am not going to vanish. I want to make it right, whatever that takes.
You're unbelievable. I saw your face the moment I walked in and didn't even need to ask you listen to his message, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I listened to the whole thing, and when it ended, I didn't know whether to cry, scream, or feel absolutely nothing at all.
Let me guess, he said the test was wrong, that the baby is his, and now he suddenly wants to fix everything with a few words.
He admitted everything. He said the lab made a mistake, that he believed the wrong truth, and now he's sorry over and over again.
And you believed him, didn't you? That voice of his still has a hold on your heart, even after everything he did.
I don't know what I believe anymore, Zara. My mind is numb, but my heart keeps saying, maybe this means something can be salvaged.
I'm going to tell you what your heart won't do. Not hand your forgiveness to a man who threw you away the moment doubt knocked on his door.
He didn't sound like a man trying to escape responsibility. He sounded broken, like someone who realized what he lost too late.
Let him be broken. Let him sit in the discomfort of what it feels like to destroy something beautiful and watch it slip through his fingers.
But how do I stop the part of me that still wants to believe in him, in us?
You don't need to kill that part of yourself. Just don't feed it right now. Let it starve until your self-respect is louder than your love.
It's just hard to accept that someone who once knew every inch of your soul could hurt you this deeply and still claim they care.
That's exactly why you don't let him walk back in, like words are enough. If he wants redemption, he can earn it from the outside.
And if he never does?
Then at least you know you didn't open the door for a man who only knocked after the damage was already done.
I just wish he had trusted me the way I trusted him, even when I was the one with everything to lose.
He's outside, just standing there, no knocking, no calls, no messages, just standing.
Did he say anything? Has he tried to come up?
Not a word. He's just waiting, like a man who knows he has no right to ask for anything but still hopes to be seen.
What do you think he's expecting will happen if he just stands there long enough?
I don't know. Maybe he's not expecting anything at all. Maybe this is the first time he's willing to feel the weight of what he's done without trying to explain it away.
Part of me wants to open the window just to say something, and the other part wants to close every curtain and never look out again.
That's exactly how grief works. It splits you down the middle and makes you carry both halves like you're not already breaking.
He looks smaller than I remember, not in size, just in spirit, like the man who thought he had all the answers finally met the truth.
Good. Let him shrink. Let him sit in that discomfort and learn how it feels to be powerless in the face of silence.
And what if he stays? What if he keeps showing up like this, hoping the waiting will undo what he said?
Then let him stay. Let him wait. But don't confuse persistence with repentance. They are not the same.
You think I'm being too soft, don't you?
I think you're doing what every woman does when she's been wounded by someone she loved, trying to turn the pain into something that feels like love again.
So what should I do?
Nothing. Not today. Let him stand. Let him ache. Let him wonder what forgiveness feels like when it's no longer handed out so easily.
Then I'll stay right here with my son, with the only truth that never doubted me.
If you're calling to speak to Adalbi, you're wasting both our time. She doesn't want to hear your voice right now. And frankly, I don't want to hear it either.
Zara, I know you don't want to hear from me, but I'm not calling to fight. I just need a moment, just one chance, to say something, anything.
You had plenty of chances, David. You chose silence, distance, and judgment. Now you want words to fix what your absence wrecked?
I made a mistake. I made the worst mistake of my life. And I'm not asking her to forgive me with a smile. I just need her to know that I finally see the damage I caused.
Seeing it now doesn't undo what you made her live through. She cried herself to sleep with your child in her arms while you clung to a test result like it was gospel.
The test was wrong. I know that now. I've spoken to Dr. Martins. I'm trying to make it right. I just need her to hear that from me, not from anyone else.
You think hearing it from your voice will soften the truth? No, David. You think remorse is a solution, but it's not. It's just the beginning of a process. She's not even sure she wants to start with you.
I'm not asking for her to open the door. I just want her to know I'm outside it every day if I have to be until she's ready.
Well, keep standing. But don't expect applause just because you finally looked in the mirror.
Please, just tell her I called, that I'm not giving up.
I don't need to tell her anything, David. She hears your silence louder than your words now, and honestly, so do I. He's back again, isn't he?
Yes, same spot, same silence, just like yesterday, and the day before that.
Does he really think standing there without speaking will undo what he did?
I do not think he's trying to undo anything. I think he's trying to outweigh the guilt, like if he suffers long enough, I will open the door.
And are you tempted to?
Some days, yes, but most days, I just want him to feel even a fraction of what it was like when I stood at that door and he told me to leave.
I see the way you look at him, Adobe. It's not forgiveness in your eyes, it's grief. And maybe that's harder to live with.
Forgiveness would be easier. Grief is heavier because he keeps asking me to remember the man he was and wonder if he's still in there.
Do you want him to be?
I do not even know anymore. I just know I do not trust the version of him standing at the gate. He waited too long to show up.
You owe him nothing, Edaobi. Not a word, not a window, not your gaze.
Then why do I still look every time he comes?
Because deep down, love doesn't die when someone fails you. It just goes quiet, hoping it never has to speak again.
Well, I do not want it to speak. Not yet. Maybe not ever.
Then don't open the door. Let him wait, let him ache, and let your silence do the work his words couldn't.
I am not punishing him, Zara. I am protecting myself. That is the difference.
Then hold the line, Adalbi, because protection is how healing begins, and you're just getting started.
You made your choice when you threw her out, David. Now you carry the shame, not her.
I know I hurt her. I know I disappointed you and everyone who believed in us. But I'm not calling for sympathy. I'm calling because I need to make this right.
Right? You think there's a version of right that comes after telling my daughter her child was a lie and tossing her out like she meant nothing?
It wasn't anger, it was fear. I saw a result I didn't expect and I reacted without thinking. I know that's not an excuse, but it's the truth.
Fear is human, but what you did wasn't just fear. It was cowardice dressed up as logic. You didn't even give her a chance to defend herself.
You're right. I let the paper speak louder than her voice. And now I wake up every morning knowing I failed the one person who stood by me through everything.
Then live with that truth. Let it echo in the silence she's giving you now. Because her silence, that's her strength, not her weakness.
I'm not asking her to forget what I did. I just want to be near my son. And if there's any part of her heart still open, I want to earn the right to stand beside her again.
You lost that right when you left her standing in the street, holding the child you now want access to. You don't rebuild trust by showing up when it's convenient. You rebuild it by enduring when it's not.
I'm not going anywhere. I'll keep showing up, not to force her decision, but to prove I've changed.
Then prove it without asking for a reward. Prove it without dragging her back into your guilt.
I understand. I won't push. I'll wait, even if it takes months.
You're not waiting for her. You're waiting to see if your remorse will be enough to earn her gaze again. But some wounds can't be stirred, and they have to be carried. And she's carrying it all right now.
I don't. Not anymore. Thank you for answering.
David, I didn't expect to hear from you again. Is everything alright?
Honestly, no, it's not. I've done everything I can to fix this and none of it's working. She won't talk to me. She won't even look at me.
And what do you expect considering what she's been through? She lived under suspicion while carrying your child.
I don't expect anything. Not anymore. But if she won't listen to me, maybe she'll listen to you.
You want me to call her to explain what?
The truth, that the mistake wasn't hers, that I acted on a result that wasn't real, that all the pain I caused her came from something you and your lab missed.
I already gave you a formal statement. If she wants to read it, it's there. But a call like that's not clinical, that's emotional.
I'm not asking for emotion. I'm asking for facts from someone who still has a voice she might not immediately shut out.
David, I know you're desperate, but if I do this, it won't undo what's been done. Don't expect this call to open a door she's chosen to keep closed.
I don't expect her to forgive me overnight. I just want her to know the truth from someone who didn't fail her personally.
You're assuming she won't hear anything from someone who was part of the lie, even unintentionally.
Then let her decide. Call her, speak plainly, and if she hangs up, at least we both know we tried.
Alright, I'll call her. But David, if you're doing this for closure, be prepared not to get any.
I'm not doing it for closure. I'm doing it because I finally understand what truth costs when it comes too late.
Hello?
Good evening, is this Miss Adobe? This is Dr. Martins. I'm calling because I owe you something far more serious than an apology.
I figured you would call eventually. Go on.
I reviewed everything, your partner's test, the intake logs, the lab protocols. The result David received was wrong. Your son is biologically his. There was a sample swap human error, and that error is mine to carry.
So the truth finally comes in, weeks too late, and just as heavy as the lie it replaced.
Yes, and I take full responsibility for what that delay has cost you. I should have seen the signs earlier. I should have verified the test the moment he came to me with doubt.
But you did not. You gave him a reason to believe I was unfaithful, and he clung to that paper like it was scripture.
I know, and I can't imagine the damage it did to your peace, your home, or your sense of trust. I'm deeply sorry for my part in that.
Sorry does not change the night I held my son alone, wondering how a man I loved could believe the worst of me so quickly.
No, it doesn't, but I had to say it anyway. If you ever want the corrected report in writing, I'll have it delivered immediately.
Keep it. I do not need paper to prove what I already knew, but thank you for finally saying it out loud.
If there's ever anything I can do to repair even a portion of this.
There is not, but I hope next time you double check before handing someone the kind of result that can destroy a life.
Understood. And again, I am sorry.
You haven't blocked him. You've had every reason, every opportunity, and still you let him call.
I did not say I answered. I've not stopped him from trying.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Why even give him the space to crawl back in after everything?
Because I am not ready to turn him into a ghost. And silence hurts more than anything I could say.
But why carry his guilt in your space, even if he's the one who created it? You don't owe him the chance to linger in your phone like nothing's changed.
It is not about what I owe him. It is about what I am still trying to understand in myself. Blocking him might feel like control, but it will not feel like peace.
Peace doesn't always feel clean. Sometimes it's harsh. Sometimes it looks like slamming a door to protect what's left of your dignity.
Maybe, but part of me wants to see how long he's willing to knock, not because I'll open the door, but because he should know what waiting feels like.
That sounds a lot like hope, Adaobi. And you've already seen what hope can do in the wrong hands.
I am not hoping he will redeem himself. I am just watching to see if he even knows how.
And what if he doesn't? What if he just keeps showing up, saying the right things without doing the real work?
Then eventually I will have the strength to shut the door, but not today. Today I just need to feel the silence between us and let it speak.
I hate seeing you stuck in this space, between anger and grace, between truth and history.
That space is mine to walk through, Zara, and I will get out of it in my time, not yours.
Just promise me, if you ever open that door again, you won't do it out of loneliness. Do it because he's proven he deserves to be on the other side of it.
If I ever open it, it will not be for him, it will be for me.
I thought painting the walls would be the hard part. Picking a crib, installing the nightlights, folding tiny clothes into perfect little drawers. I never imagined the hardest part would be standing in this room with no sound, no laughter, no footsteps but mine. This was supposed to be where his story started with both of us here, watching him become something we made together. And now, it just feels like a museum for a life I walked away from before I even gave it a chance. How did I go from dreaming about holding him to becoming the man he doesn't even know? I convinced myself I was protecting something, my pride, my future, maybe even her, when the truth is, I was just protecting myself from fear. But fear doesn't leave when you run from it. It just waits. And now it's sitting with me in this room like a second shadow. I said I wanted time, that we'd marry after the birth. Like love came with conditions, like trust had a calendar. She never asked for guarantees, only belief. And I gave her doubt. Now all I have are empty rooms and the memory of her voice saying, "This is your child," like she was trying to save us both. I wonder if she knows how loud the silence is now, how it echoes through every part of this house. I wonder if she still sees me in the boy's face or if she's trying not to. I don't know how to come back from this, but I know I can't stop walking toward it.
Zara, I wasn't expecting your call. Everything okay?
No, not really. I just needed to speak to someone who still sees a version of David worth saving, because I'm struggling to see him as anything other than selfish.
You have every right to that way, but I see him for what he is broken, not beyond repair.
Broken men tend to break women on the way down. Adelby didn't deserve to be his wreckage.
She didn't, and he knows that. But guilt only matters if he changes behavior, and from what I've seen, he's trying.
Trying? He stood by a test and tossed her out like she meant nothing. Now he wants points for showing up.
Not points, just time. Some kind of path back, even if it's long and filled with silence.
That silence is what she wakes up to every morning, what she rocks her baby to sleep with at night.
And maybe he needs to sit in it too, every day, until she decides whether his presence is healing or just noise.
I just don't want her to open the door out of muscle memory, out of that deep, dangerous softness we call love.
She's not the same woman he left. She's tougher now, even if she's quiet. If she chooses to let him close, it will be from a place of strength.
God, I hope so, because if he hurts her again, Tunde, I won't be calm about it.
And I wouldn't expect you to be, but I'd still rather she walk her own path than let her protection become another prison.
Fair, just don't expect me to smile when he starts calling himself a changed man.
I won't. I'll just be watching to see if he proves it the quiet way.
Bring him here for a minute. Let me hold him before you lay him down.
He has been extra quiet tonight, like he senses the weight in the air and does not want to add to it.
Babies know, even before they understand words, they know when the people holding them are carrying something heavier.
I have spent the whole day trying not to feel too much, just enough to function, not enough to cry.
Sometimes numbness, its own kind of grief, it tricks you into thinking you're stronger than you are.
I am tired of being strong. I am tired of being the one who is always expected to take the blow and keep standing.
No one survives betrayal without hardening a little, but don't let that hardness turn you into someone afraid to feel love again.
I do not know if it is love I am afraid of, or the way it makes you hope even when you should not.
Hope is a dangerous thing, but silence can be worse if it becomes permanent.
He called again. I answered. We said nothing. And somehow, that silence was louder than anything we ever screamed.
That's because silence doesn't argue, it just tells the truth and waits to be heard.
And what if he is not the man I hoped he was?
Then you raise a son strong enough to become the kind of man his father couldn't be.
I do not want bitterness in this house. Not for him, not for me.
Then don't carry it. Just carry your son and walk forward one step at a time.
Even if he's waiting on the other side?
Especially then, because your steps, not his will, decide where the story goes next.
Thank you for letting me come. I didn't expect this and I won't overstep. I just needed to see him, even if it's just for a moment.
This isn't a reunion. It's not forgiveness. It's a chance to look at the life you stepped away from and decide whether you'll ever be man enough to stand in it.
I'm not here with words this time. I've said too many already. I'm here to be present, even if that presence means nothing to you right now.
Good, because right now, your presence is tolerated, not welcomed.
Understood completely. He's beautiful. I didn't deserve to see that, but I'm grateful you let me.
Don't mistake this for softness. I didn't do it for you. I did it because one day he'll ask who his father is, and I want to be able to say I gave you the chance to show up.
Then I'll show up as often as you allow, not to earn you back, but to earn the right to stand near him and not feel like a stranger.
Time will tell if that's possible. But today, I needed to see if you could look at him without crumbling into excuses.
I'm done with excuses. All I want now is to earn his name on my lips without feeling like I stole it.
It's not his name you need to earn. It's your place in his life, and mine is not the gatekeeper. Your actions will decide whether that door stays open.
Then I'll walk carefully, even if every step costs me.
Good, because nothing here is free, not anymore.
So, this is your idea of growth? A man shows up late after tearing her to pieces. I was supposed to pat him on the back because he remembered how to knock.
I didn't say praise him. I said watch him, see if he shows up consistently, quietly, without expecting applause.
Consistently? You think showing up with puppy eyes and holding his breath while she breathes pain is some kind of milestone?
It's not a milestone, it's the bare minimum. But it's also more than what most men do when they realize they've broken something.
Now we hand him a medal for not disappearing entirely?
Zara, I'm not defending what he did. I'm telling you, he's not trying to skip the process, he's just trying to begin it.
She lets him see the baby. That's not a beginning, that's her still being better than he deserves.
You're right. She's better than he deserves. But that's exactly why she gets to decide if he grows, not us.
So we stand by and let her take another emotional hit while he finds himself in the nursery he abandoned.
We stand by and trust that Ada knows the difference between grace and weakness. And from what I've seen, she does.
I don't trust him, Tunde. I don't even trust that he understands the depth of what he did.
Then don't trust him. Trust her. She's and she's not letting him back in. She's letting him stand outside with the wind in his face.
She's always been more patient than me. I just hope it doesn't cause her another scar.
If he adds another scar, I'll be the first one at his door. But until then, let her walk this at her pace.
Fine, but I'm watching, and one wrong move from him, I won't keep quiet about it.
Good, because sometimes redemption needs witnesses, not cheerleaders. You came to me when you were doubting her, and I stood in front of you and told you to be careful. Now you're back, trying to piece things together, and I'm still standing in front of you only this time. I'm not holding back.
I'm not here to explain. I'm here because I need to hear what you have to say, even if it cuts deep.
Good, because there's no applause waiting for you. No slow clap for realizing the woman you loved was telling the truth all along.
I'm not asking for anyone to clap. I just want to make things right, whatever that takes.
No one's clapping for you, David. You're not here to be redeemed. You're here to show up and shut up until she decides who you are now, not who you used to be.
I hear that every day, every time she looks at me and doesn't look all the way.
Then let that look humble you. Let it remind you that you burned the bridge and now you're crossing what's left barefoot.
That's exactly what it feels like. Every visit, every silence, every time I hold my son and feel like a stranger.
Good. Sit in that. Let it shape you. Because if you think consistency is a strategy to win her back, you're already failing again.
It's not a strategy. It's the only thing I have left to offer presence without expectations.
Then stay present, even when it's thankless, even when she looks through you like your furniture.
I will. If I have to come back 100 times and still be met with silence, I'll do it.
Then do it with humility, not hope. Don't come with your heart in your hands, waiting for her to fix it.
I'm not asking her to fix me. I just want to be part of what I broke, even if that part is small.
Then take your place quietly, because if you speak too soon, you remind her of the voice that doubted her, not the man trying to learn how to listen.
He's early today, again.
He waits outside 15 minutes before knocking, like he's building courage before asking to see his own son.
And you still let him in, every time, even though your face stays stone.
Because presence matters, because my son deserves to see what showing up looks like, even if it's late.
He feeds the baby like he's memorizing every gesture, like he's trying to earn each blink.
That's the point. No shortcuts, no affection until it feels earned, not assumed.
He sat on the floor yesterday, rocking the baby for almost an hour, never looked up.
He's not here to be seen. He's here because he finally understands what it means to stay.
And you? What do you feel when he's in that room?
Nothing warm, not yet, just stillness, and maybe, deep down, the faint sound of regret, trying to become something else.
I still don't trust him.
Neither do I. That's why I'm watching. That's why I let the silence do the talking for now.
And if one day, silence turns into something softer?
Then I'll listen, but not before he proves he belongs in the room with us.
He hasn't asked for anything, not once.
That's the only reason I haven't closed the door again.
I've seen him come and go these past few weeks. Quiet, cautious, careful not to step on a single thread of your space.
He doesn't say much anymore, sometimes not a word. He just watches his son, like he's afraid to blink and miss something.
Maybe that's what guilt does to men like him. Makes them afraid of losing what they never protected. And you keep letting him in. I've noticed. Not warmly, not fully, but the door is cracked.
Because I need to see if change is possible, not just for him, but for me too.
You have every right to never let him back in. Don't let anyone, not even me, tell you otherwise.
It's not about right or wrong anymore. It's about what I can live with and what I can't hold anymore.
Just make sure if you ever choose to let him back in, it's from clarity, not loneliness.
Loneliness is always lurking, but I've learned how to sit with it. It doesn't scare me like it used to.
Good, because the most dangerous decisions are the ones we make trying to escape being alone.
I'm not rushing. Every time he shows up, I remind myself I owe him nothing but boundaries.
And every time you hold your ground, you remind yourself that love isn't just about giving, it's also about guarding.
I just want to raise my son with truth, even if the truth is messy and incomplete.
Then do that with your head clear and your heart calm. Let time do what time does. Let him do the rest.
He sleeps easier when you're calm. I've noticed. Maybe he remembers your heartbeat from before all this chaos began.
I've learned that babies don't fake peace. If he rests near me, I take that as a small mercy, not a sign.
I've watched you quietly every time. I wanted to see if you'd disappear again when he stopped being dramatic.
There's nothing dramatic left in me, just the will to stay, even if staying means being invisible for a while.
It used to hurt to look at you. Now it just feels neutral. And in a strange way, that feels like the first step back to something human.
Neutral is holy ground to me right now. It means I didn't ruin everything, just most things.
You didn't ask to hold him today. You waited. That matters more than anything you've said so far.
That's because I realized something. Being his father isn't about holding him. It's about being held accountable every time I don't deserve to. Their silence is earned. Their suspicion is fair. I'm not here to rush through it. I'm here because I chose to be without reward.
It's not an apology. It's not a promise. It's this consistency with no expectation. And you've done that.
Then all I'll say is I'll keep doing it, whether I ever step further in or not.
Good, because tonight you don't need to stand outside anymore.
You've been holding that phone like it holds the answer to something. But maybe the answer isn't in the call, it's in whether you still need it.
It's not need, it's choice. And I haven't had many of those lately, not real ones. Not the kind that don't come from pain.
So, are you calling because your heart is finally steady or because you're hoping he'll say the right thing this time?
I'm calling because for the first time, I'm not angry when I think of him. I'm tired, but I'm not bitter. That feels like a good place to begin from, or at least end something cleanly.
You're softer with him lately. I see it. It scares me, if I'm being honest. Not because you're wrong, but because you're open again, and open is where you got hurt.
Open is also where love starts again. And whether it's with him or with no one at all, I refuse to leave locked shut just to feel safe.
You're braver than me. I'd have bolted the door, changed the locks, and burned the blueprint.
And I love you for that. But this isn't your wound to guard anymore. You carried me when I couldn't stand. Now I'm walking, even if I'm limping. I want him to know I see the efforts. That I'm not clapping, but I'm not closing the door either. I want him to feel the weight of that quiet mercy.
Mercy is a beautiful thing. Just don't confuse it with obligation.
I'm not giving him anything. I'm letting myself release what's been sitting in my throat for too long. That's it.
Then call him. But call him from power, not pain. Call him because you're ready, not because you're lonely.
I'm not lonely. I'm clear. And that's why I can finally pick up the phone without shaking.
Then go, speak, and whatever happens, you still have me, no matter how this plays out.
I know, and that's the only reason I'm strong enough to even try. You once asked if I'd ever be able to look at you without remembering the pain. For a long time, I couldn't, but today, it didn't hurt.
That alone is more grace than I ever thought I'd feel again, and I don't take it lightly.
I've watched you come back with no expectations, no noise. That quiet mattered more than any apology.
Because words failed you, so I chose to let time speak instead. And I'll keep doing that, whether or not you ever say yes to what I'm about to ask.
Go on.
Edalbi, will you marry me? Not to erase what happened, but to write what comes next with honesty. I want to build a home with you, with him built on presence, not perfection.
This proposal isn't wrapped in flowers or spectacle. It's wrapped in accountability. And that's the only kind of proposal I'd ever accept now.
So, is that a yes?
Yes, I want to marry you, David. Because this time, we're not walking in blind. We're walking in with eyes wide open and nothing hidden.
I'll carry that yes like a promise, not a prize. I won't fail you again.
You don't get to promise that, but you get to keep showing up every day and trying, and I'll keep showing up with you.
Together then, from here forward.
Together slowly, honestly, and without pretending the past didn't happen. That's how we begin again.
Then, let's begin. Not for the version of us that fell apart, but for the one that survived.
We didn't survive just to return to what we were. We survived to become something better.
Let's go home this time, together.